Greetings and salutations, and welcome to episode number 9 of Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. I am your host, Will Hernandez, and I am joined, as always, by my co host, Mr. Lee J. Perilla. Lee J., how are you? How was your weekend? I feel like I barely heard from you this past weekend.
Number 9, baby, Greg Jeffries.
The funny thing about this episode is that technically it's the 10th one.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's not number 10. And I think the reason why this is an important episode for us is because most podcasts don't get past 10 episodes, believe it or not. Like 90% of podcasts do not get past 10 episodes.
Wow,
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So the fact that we are on number 10 right now and we are obviously have no we're keeping going here. You know, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, it's a crazy stat. 90% of podcasts stop after 10 episodes because it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's not a let me say that again. It's more about being consistent. I think is a thing. And I think once the good thing about us is that we said we were gonna do once a week, every Sunday night, and then publish on Monday. The schedule is gonna change a little bit going forward. So let me get on that quickly before we jump into things. Because don't forget, folks, this episode is basically our NFL preview episode for 2024. We're only going to talk about NFL in this episode. We're going to ignore all the other shit that's happening. We're going to try to anyway. But so here's the thing. Obviously, when you get this, it's going to be Monday, Labor Day, regular episode. Next week, we are not going to be publishing until the Thursday, whatever date that is. Let me just check myself here. I probably should have had this up. It is going to be on September 12th. The reason being, I'm going to be at a conference starting next Sunday, and I'm not going to be relying on hotel internet to be recording a podcast. That's just not happening.
I thought we were both able to retire off of this, but that's not going to happen just yet.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll record Wednesday, September 11th, and then we'll publish on the 12th. And then what will happen the following week is we will record on the 17th, which is a Tuesday. And then the plan is, if you don't go to the Jets game that week, to record again on Thursday night, the 19th. And if not, maybe it'll only be one show that week, but the plan is to eventually, by the end of the month, go to 2 days a week. So, at least for the NFL season. Social media, all over the place. Two Dummies That Just Watch, YouTube, Twitter X, Threads, and Instagram. So please be sure to follow us over there. If you are subscribed to us on Apple, iTunes, podcast, or Spotify, please leave us a star rating and a review because that helps. That helps with just visibility. And yeah, the one thing I will say before we get started, we did match the number of downloads for the first 2 months. So we did X amount of downloads for July, and we reached that same number for August. So thanks everybody for sticking with us. Yeah, I'm not going to play the applause thing. I could, but I'm not because that means I have to add it in later. So, and the thing is, I think that there are more people listening to us than the stats say. And I just really can't figure that out because, as I told you before, Apple Podcast plays are high. They're in the hundreds. And I'm not sure what that means exactly. I think one of our most popular episodes was the one 2 weeks ago with the Daniel Jones one. So, and the funny thing is, either our episodes have had to do with baseball or football, which I think is kind of funny if you look at the titles for the episodes. And this one obviously will be for the NFL preview 2024. So you're going to want to stick around towards the end of this episode because we are going to run a contest for our regular season predictions for records. So You want to stay tuned for that because I'm going to share the information about that and an email address. But first things first, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we had our fantasy draft on Thursday. And if you tuned in last week, Lee J gave some words of wisdom from this thing that he saw on Instagram about how he was going to draft his team. And I think I followed it as well and probably did some things I would not have done otherwise. But sir, I got ranked as a D plus Yahoo Fantasy. What was your grade again? Like a D or something?
C plus.
It was a C plus. Regardless of that, how are you feeling about the way your draft came out for this year?
I actually feel I feel pretty good actually. Um, I was looking comparing kind of like last year because last year was my worst year. I shot the bed big time.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not um I'm not as comfortable as I want to be with the bench, but I do like my starters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and drafting this way, I did notice that you drafting this way, you're gonna get a because I think I went quarterback sixth round, fifth round, not 100% sure, but you get a good quarterback.
Yeah,
Some
you
may
got a good
perceive the
one.
person as great, depending on who it is, maybe, but you get a
Mm-hmm.
good quarterback. You don't really get the top tier quarterbacks, maybe like the right underneath.
Right.
And the quarterback I drafted
Who
to
did you
start
have?
is a kind of example is a perfect example of what I'm saying. Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he's made it to a Super Bowl, blah blah blah, but he's been hurt. I wouldn't put him as great yet. So he's
Yeah.
kind of like that lower tier.
Yeah, I
And my
agree.
backup is Purdy,
I
which
would
is kind
rather
of the
have
same thing.
yeah, I would rather have Joe Burrow over Daniel Jones though. So who is your I guess give me your because I just pulled up my starting lineup. Give me at least your starting lineup because I
All
haven't
right,
even
my
looked at your
starters.
team yet.
Like I said, like I just mentioned, Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Uh, wide receiver one, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Then I got your boy Malik Neighbors.
Fucking piece of shit.
RB1, Jameer Gibbs out of Detroit. Then Joe Mixon from Houston. Uh, this I'm gonna probably leave it like this, barring injury. My first week starting tight end is Travis Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, flex first flex. Mark Andrews. Second is Njigba, wide receiver
Mm.
from Seattle, and then Spears, this running back from Tennessee. They're saying he's gonna be the backup, but I see him getting a lot of carries over there.
Interesting.
And
And then you were saying the bench isn't that great, right?
yeah, my bench. I'm not even gonna go over it, but I don't really.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
fine.
Whatever. And I got
Yeah.
my kicker. I wanted this guy on purpose.
Who?
Butker.
Oh, I saw.
I did that on purpose.
I
And
knew
everyone
you
that knows
did,
footballs knows
dude.
why.
I when you picked him, I was like, Lee J is fucking trolling right now. I know he is. I absolutely know he's trolling right now.
Because he wasn't even the first kicker. It was the money guy. What's his name? Golly, man, from Baltimore. His name's missing me right now. Oh my god, man,
Hold on, I'll
he's
look
a
him
great
up.
kicker. He's like, oh my god, he's from Baltimore. He was number one, and somebody else. He wasn't even. He was number three when I drafted him. As far as kickers that were left, Ju-
Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah, it's funny because they have his fucking. Sorry, when I pulled it up, it was like Justin Paul Tucker. I guess his middle name is
Middle
Paul.
name, I guess. And
Yeah,
then I went Homer here. Defense is the Jets.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I'll go through my lineup quick too. I hate the fuck that I got this, but it's Zach Prescott's my starting
Dak or
quarterback.
Zach? Dak.
Dak.
This guy's all over. We're gonna start with this shit again. He might be thinking
But
about Zach Wilson.
here's the thing though. Why do I have this feeling that Dak's gonna play lights out this year because he's like in a walk year? I don't know. That's kind of my that was kind of my thinking with that. Wide receiver one is St. Brown from Detroit. Then they got Devontae Smith from Philadelphia. So running backs, I'm not too crazy about, but I guess they're good guys because they're always. I mean, if you look at the percentage started, they're 98% and 93%. Kyron Williams from the
The
Rams, and then
Rams.
what's that?
Yeah, the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams, and then Rashad White from Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
My starting tight end is Laporta because he was the ranked number 2 behind Kelsey. It's funny, dude. When I saw that Kelsey was dropping, I was like, "Oh, but I knew you were going to take him. Like I knew it because I knew what your strategy was." And I was like, "This motherfucker's going to take him, so it's not going to be there. So I'm going to have to
I've
take
never. This is the
Laporta."
first time I've actually had him. I've never had him on my team. Yeah, I mean later on in his career, but I mean, how much is his like with Patrick Mahomes? How much is his numbers going to drop?
Yeah, yeah. So rest of the flexes is Stephon Diggs, Rome Odunze. I got him really late, and then Jaden Reed. I don't have. Here is the problem with this particular draft. Even though it was a 10-team draft, by the time we got to the end, dude, the wide receiver pickings, they were almost non-existent because that's what the league, that's what fantasy is now. You take the wide receivers. So
Yep.
the bench is suspect, but my backup quarterback is Caleb Williams.
Oh
I did
boy.
troll
Oh
with
yeah, I
that
did
one
see
in
that. I
some
do
way.
remember you
Yeah.
taking him.
Because I mean, dude, I don't know. We'll get into that later because I got some thoughts about the. Actually, we're gonna get into that now because that's our fantasy talk. As I absolutely did not take a timestamp, but I will now. So there are coming into this episode, there were different ways I thought about how we can do this and have some fun with this and not exactly keep it as Giants and Jets because that's fucking boring to me. We wanted to make sure that we had a variety in this episode. So one of the things, and totally stole this from somebody else, by the way, kind of. I felt like it would be good to talk about new season starts on Thursday. A lot of excitement in the air. And I know this is not related, but dude, I spent a lot of time watching college football yesterday. Watched the whole Notre Dame Texas A&M game. I had the Michigan game on another TV. I watched a bit of Miami and Florida. I was just all over the place yesterday. I was like, I'm ready. I'm fucking ready for football. So one thing I thought we can do to start the show is talk about some things, 3 things that we have in mind for the upcoming NFL season. Three storylines that we are watching. So, sir, I think what we'll do is, you go with your first storyline,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll go on my first storyline, and then we'll just go back and
Yep.
forth and just
That
like
works.
bounce off each other, and if we have thoughts or whatever. So basically, it's all teams here. We just name teams, and I will say now the bonus is just talking about the NFL kickoff because I think I'm still fascinated by that whole fucking thing, and I'm also wondering as I was watching college football last night, will we see college football adopt this kickoff strategy? Because you figure maybe it should to get the kids ready on the pro level. Anyway, sir, number one, you had the Cleveland Browns as your storyline. And I have a feeling in my head why, but you tell me what was your reason for picking the Browns as one of your storylines for this year?
Because I think the Browns are gonna suck. And they're not gonna be as good as people think they're gonna be.
Interesting.
I don't have any faith in Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I think it's over for him.
Mm,
It's over. I don't think he's as good as people thinks he is, or he thinks he is. Whatever. Their defense is pretty good. They had a good defense last year, but we're gonna get into this later. But I think they're gonna finish dead last in their division.
really
100%.
interesting because I don't have them. That's interesting. I'll be okay. I'm going to be curious to see how our records
I don't
play
have
out.
faith. Like
Interesting.
their 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 chance was the last couple years, and then
Mm,
Watson got hurt again, and then we all
right.
know about his legal issues.
Yeah.
He I think he sat the last preseason game, or he was taken out, something like that, because of arm soreness or arm fatigue. Come on, bro, what are you talking about?
And
Yeah, he had the
preseason. Come
surgery,
on.
but when was the surgery? How long ago was the surgery? I don't have. I'm not a Browns fan. I don't really care.
No, but I see what you're saying. This is just stuff
I
that
don't
we're
have
keeping an
faith in his
eye
team
on.
like a
Yeah.
lot of other people have faith in his team. Like I said,
Sure.
I think they're going to finish dead last in their division.
That's interesting. Okay.
And to be honest with you, I think
Wow.
Deshaun Watson's overrated. But whatever, call it a hot take. It's my
So
opinion.
here we go. August 21st. It was Deshaun Watson dealing with general arm soreness, but
There you
feeling
go.
fine. This was a while. I mean, this is October, August 21st. I don't know if it says what was his surgery. Do you remember?
I think he something with his shoulder.
Maybe
I just don't
that's.
know which one.
Let's
I think it was something with
see.
one of his shoulders.
Surgery. Deshaun Watson surgery. It looks like it was knee surgery.
Was it knee? I don't know why I'm thinking arm, which is why with the arm soreness.
Here we go. Cleveland Browns. Oh yeah, you're right. Shoulder surgery.
Yep.
This happened on November 15th of last year. So yeah, he was
A
out for the
sack.
rest
He
of the
landed
season.
on his shoulder or something, or hit out of bounds.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what it was,
Yeah.
but they suck.
That's funny because I actually have them. Well, we'll get to it later. So here's the thing. The only thing I will say about the Browns is that they gave up a lot to get Watson. Everybody knows that. They gave up a shit ton to the Texans to get Watson. It's just kind of funny how we've seen the Texans, they're looking like a favorite in the AFC right now. And we'll obviously get to that later. But the fact that the Browns, how many years old is that trade now? 2 or 3 years old?
2 or 3 years. It's my
Yeah.
point.
And it was big controversy because of all the shit that we know with the legal trouble. And people were like, what are you doing? If you remember, famously, what was it? Jim Tomey's wife, they canceled their season tickets because she was so disappointed that the Browns went ahead and got this alleged sexual deviant, on the team. And so you bring that with you, and it's just all this other mess, and the Browns don't have anything to show for it. And damn, if you're not too confident in them, and Vegas was a little more confident than I think than you are.
I'm gonna. Let me get. You got their Vegas numbers up now?
I think
Hold
what
on. I
they're
want to guess. I want to guess.
because this is how I based my picks off of. By the way, just
I
to
know
give you
what
people insight.
I
Hold on.
I kind of have a number in my head.
Here we
So I'm
go.
going to base it off my number. So I'm going to say Vegas has 6.5.
I'm going to tell you right now. This is according to FanDuel. I'm getting this from
Yeah,
FanDuel.
I'm going to say they said 6.5.
8.5.
No way.
Yeah, that's what they
It's
have.
going to be
at.
closer to my number, and my number ain't 6.5.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get to that. But okay, interesting. That's a good one. So for me, there's a theme here with my first two. For me, it's the Bears. I don't think that should really be a surprise to anybody in some sense because there is so much hype surrounding this team right now. And I did a little research before we hopped on. Okay. The Bears have not won a playoff game since my birthday of 2011. Think about that. It's a long fucking time. They have the longest playoff winless streak in the NFC North.
Oh, I was about to say not the NFL because that might be the Jets.
No, yeah. So, and the funny, what's kind of crazy? They've actually had some recent success. They made the playoffs in 2018 and then the unforgettable 2020 season that nobody likes to talk about because,
Yeah.
that was like an aberration in a lot of ways.
We don't talk about that around here.
But they snuck into the playoffs at 8-8. Now, do I think, by the way, I saw some people putting the Bears in the playoffs this year. I don't think they're going to make that big of a leap. Do I think they're going to be better? Yeah. I think they have the defense that's gonna do it. They're gonna have Williams, first year quarterback. They have Odunze. It seems like they have a pretty good support system, but I don't know if that leap is gonna be the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see that.
Yeah. Do I think they're going to finish around 500? I actually do, and that reflects what I have for my prediction for later. But I just think somebody who lived there, somebody who's been to that stadium a couple of times, and the Bears are the thing that unites the city in a way. Because don't forget, it's White Sox and Cubs, and it's not like here where you have Jets and Giants opposite Mets and Yankees. in Chicago, the Bears are really the one out more than the Bulls and more than the Blackhawks. It's the Bears that unites people. So I think that's why there is just so much excitement. It's been a while. Like just the whole Justin Fields experiment failed. That whole thing failed. They haven't had a decent quarterback since Cutler, as Cutler's been there. And there really wasn't a lot of success when Cutler was there. And now you got this guy. He looked good in preseason. He's fucking making throws that are like even better than Mahomes if you listen to some people. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. But sir, do you have anything? You don't think they're
Zach
going to make the
Wilson made those same
playoffs?
throws.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Sure, he did. In his fucking dreams. In Madden, he made those throws in
No, he
Madden.
remember the one that went in the combine. He made one. He made one during a couple games.
Who, Williams or
Well,
Wilson?
Wilson,
Okay.
yeah, and that's what I was saying. And like,
Well,
this is gonna go
yeah,
later on because
you don't know.
I got an in
Yeah.
depth thing. No one knows anything. That's
No,
why this
that's the
stuff
thing.
is it's
That's
stupid
the
to
other
me.
thing. Yeah, that's
But
the other thing. What
I
do you think
definitely
about the
I don't
Bears?
have I agree with you. I don't have them making the playoffs.
Okay.
And when I did my breakdown of each division each division, I didn't give a record. I just put where I thought they would fall into place.
Oh, I gave records,
And
buddy.
if they fall into this place,
You got to give
I'm
records.
looking around 8 or 9, 9 or 8, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Right around there. Because they should improve.
yeah.
Their defense is pretty good. I like Montez Sweat. He's good. They picked him up from Washington at the end of the year, and I knew what they were doing there because he was a free agent. He said, "Let's pick him up now, even though we're not good, and sign him to an extension," which is what they did.
Mm,
And now he's with them for
right.
however long they signed the contract for.
Yeah.
But no one knows. He could be great. He could be another bust. Or
Yeah.
I'll say this. By just the looks of it, he is coming. And take away, chemistry, and these players have been playing together for a long. Just based off talent,
Sure.
he's one of the rookie quarterbacks. Not in a long time because I'm trying to off the top of my head, but what I'm trying to say is that he's coming into a team that it has talent on offense.
Right. It does. Yes.
Right, he's not being put behind some garbage, O line, no receivers, and then 2-3 years from now, you wonder why he never amounted to who you thought he would be.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
there's talent there.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
I agree. He is coming into a good situation. It's funny you mentioned the O line because I don't know. I told you I've been trying to listen and read as much as I could about the NFL this year because of obviously this podcast, and there were some people who had some questions about the old line, but we'll see. We'll see how things play out. Okay, sir. Your number 2 storyline, and I'm actually this is what I thought about, but the Pittsburgh Steelers. Holy shit. This is gonna be super interesting the way things play out here. But go ahead.
My first take is at some time during this year, Justin Fields will take over as
Oh
the
yeah,
starting quarterback for the
absolutely.
Pittsburgh Steelers. When that
Mhm.
is, whether it's injury, and I don't wish any injury on any player, I think it's more so because I think Russell Wilson is washed. I think he's done. And Justin Fields the backup, so he's going to come in.
Yeah.
But both these players will not be on the Steelers next year.
You don't think so?
No, I do not think they'll be on this team next year. Neither one of them. So either they're going to break Tomlin's record of consecutive winning seasons,
That's
have a
right.
losing record, and then maybe get pick in the top 10 or top 5 to try to go after one of these guys.
Yeah.
Because if they make the playoffs again, he goes over 500. What are you going to do? Because Russell Wilson to me is not the answer.
No, absolutely not.
If you use out of Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Justin maybe because he's younger, but I don't think neither one of these guys are their answer.
Right.
And they got rid of Kenny Pickett, so it's these two
Right.
guys. Listen, Mike Tomlin, that guy's a coach. He knows how to coach.
Yeah.
He gets the best out of maybe not the best players.
Yeah.
In some people's opinion. But I don't think that's going to be enough. I'm on the fence about them making the playoffs. I don't think they are again. They're going to miss the playoffs again, but
same. I have them not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think they're going to, well,
yeah.
we'll get into it. I don't want to give too much away. Here's the thing though. It's funny listening to you talk about the Steelers is because uh, they're almost in the same situation as the Giants as far as the quarterback is concerned,
I agree with that.
because you just laid it out. If they make the playoffs, then obviously they're going to be bumped down as far as where they're going to draft. Obviously, you're not playing for a playoff pick. I mean, a top draft pick. The other side of it is you look at some of these guys that are supposed to be available next year. Sanders, apparently the quarterback from Notre Dame, which I have to say, I was watching that game very closely yesterday. He did not impress me.
I like the Texas kid.
Yeah, you got the Texas kid.
Quinn Hewers, I think his name,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
him.
And there's talk about I don't think he can come out. I don't know what the thing is for like when you can come out. As far as can you come out after your sophomore year?
That's
I
a
can't
great
remember.
question.
Yeah, but Archie Manning,
Yeah.
Arch Manning, I should say, is how they. I mean, if he has a good year this year, he might come out and he might be up there.
Let me tell you something about that kid. He could blow chunks. And let's say whatever year he come out this year, next year, whatever year it is, he could blow chunks, and he'll still be drafted top 5.
Oh, of course, because it's pedigree.
That's it.
It's the name.
It's the name.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
absolutely the name. I wonder if that'll be the same thing with Sanders. I'm curious.
I actually like Sanders as a quarter. I think he could play. There's a little things like the way he throws the ball, and I'm not an expert. I just like kind of see these things. But I actually do like his take all the crap off the table. His father, and sometimes how he could be an idiot and talk too much and blah blah blah. Just based off what I see, I like the kid. I think he could play quarterback.
Interesting. I saw one comment. You know me, I love reading fucking internet comments. And somebody said he might be talented, but are you gonna have to deal with his father as well?
That's
And
the problem.
that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a
Because you can't
huge.
take that BS off the table. I'm
Yeah,
just talking about as I see it.
yeah, exactly.
But
And could you
the
imagine
noise is
Sanders?
there.
But you know what the thing is too. Like you think about it, I could see Sanders with Tomlin and that working out great.
I could see that.
So we'll see. Anyway,
That might be the
number two.
one coach if let's say he does go there, where his father might just lay off.
Oof, yeah.
Because I don't know what kind of relationship they have, but just based off Tomlin knows what he's doing, I'm a
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tomlin does know what he's doing. So
100%.
take that in consideration. But we'll keep an eye on the Steelers. So my number 2 is the New England Patriots. Again, there's a theme here. I used to live in Chicago. I used to live in Boston. Brother, I'll occasionally check in on if anybody's familiar with WEEI. It's like the big. Is Lee J? Oh, come on, bro. Are you serious?
It's time, baby.
That's blasphemous. All the shit that you talk about that fucking city. By the way, Lee J just unveiled his hat and he's wearing an Eagles hat. So you can direct all your hate towards him because he's a hypocrite.
Woo!
He's a hypocrite.
Woo-hoo!
You're a hypocrite. So I can't believe we're wearing that hat. The Pats. I'll occasionally listen to WEI, which is like the big sports radio. It's basically the equivalent of WFAN here in New York. And dude, those people talk about the Pats non-fucking stop. It is unbelievable. They can spend an hour, even if the Red Sox are doing well, they will spend an hour talking about the Pats. And guess what they've been talking about this whole fucking off season? Everything but Drake May, right? Now we know at this point that Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starter. We know that. But now the question is, how quickly is Drake May going to get into the starting lineup? And that's all you hear. That's all you hear. I have a feeling. First of all, I agree that they're not starting him right away because I'm still under the impression, and I don't know if this is going to be as part of your quarterback discussion later because I have no idea anything about what we're talking about with that later. But I am still under the impression that you sit first and that you learn. Now, are there exceptions to the rule? Sure, there are. We're going to see it in Chicago. I just mentioned one team because Caleb's starting right away. I think this guy was going to start right away before he tore up his knee. What's his face?
Oh,
Michigan guy,
McCarthy.
McCarthy. I don't know if he was, but
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but yeah, who knows?
I mean, I think it was a pretty, it was up in the air kind of before he got injured. So Drake May is going to sit, and we're going to see how patient they are in New England because I'll give you two things why. One, Robert Kraft. This whole post Belichick thing, Parcells. I mean, same shit. This post Belichick thing has not gone exactly well. That's number one. Number two, Boston's impatient, man. That city is fucking impatient. And they already had to go through this shit last year. Things didn't work out with what was his name? What was the other quarterback that they
Mac
drafted high?
Jones. Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, right? Nothing went well with him. So I don't think Brissett's let's put it this way. My final thing on this. I will be surprised if May is not the starting quarterback by let's see. I'm going to give you a week. By October 6th, which is the first Sunday in
That's
October. So
about
that
what?
would
Week
be
5,
week
week
one,
6.
two, three, week 5. Yeah. I would say let's give Jacoby a quarter of the season, or whatever that amounts to the quarter of the season now, because it's an extra game, about 4 games, 4 to 5 games. And then we'll reassess and then go from there. But I think Drake May is going to be the quarterback by the end of the season. That's not even a question. So anyway, I don't think they're going to be that good though, because you'll see by my record later. They're going to be shit. But you got to get this guy's got to be in there and see what you got, because, like you said, Jones was a fucking disaster. But sir, same division as the Jets, obviously. What are your thoughts about the Pats going into this
So
season?
let's say, like you said, week 5. Here's where they're trying to do it both ways. What I mean by that is they're trying to let him sit and they're trying to let him start at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Which how much can you learn in 5 games?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
much,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So 17-game season now. Would you say if you started 0-5 is your season over? Technically, is your season over. With 17 games now at 0-5 is your season over
Oh, man. In the NFL?
in the NFL.
Holy shit, man. I'm going to say no because there's still a chance.
There's still a slight chance,
Yeah,
very
there's a slight
slim,
chance. Very slight.
but you can still make the playoffs.
Yes.
You will have a lot of things go your way, but it can still happen. My point is that
And get some help.
my point is, and we're gonna get into this later, is that the only way, in my opinion, that a quarterback could sit and learn is got to be at least a full year.
I agree.
He's got to see all.
Yes.
He's got to see the ups if there's ups. He's
I
got to
agree
see
with
the
that.
downs. He's got to see everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
He got to see the BS.
Yeah.
More so the BS than the good, because the good is the
Sure.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good's going to probably happen to him, but he's got to see the BS and how it's handled within the organization, on the sideline, with the players, with the coaches, everything like that.
Because this ain't college anymore.
This is not college anymore.
Different story.
100%. So in my opinion, I feel like you can do it both ways, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah. I can see that.
let's say this, because there's always during the NFL season, there's always teams that have surprise wins.
Sure. Yep.
Oh, that we didn't expect them to beat them, and then you eke out a couple wins that way, 2-3 wins that way. 5 games. Let's say that not one. Let's say they're 2-3. I don't think Brissett's going to sit. I think they'll keep playing him.
Mm-hmm. Keep the hot hand. Yeah.
I do agree with you. If it's week 5, week 6, you're saying week 5. I say more week 6. If they don't have any wins, it's probably going to happen. They're going to make that switch.
I don't have them winning a lot of games, so
Yeah, I don't have them winning a lot of games either. So they're going to have to make this. If they're going to make that decision, they're going to have to make it early.
yeah, I agree. Interesting.
So I'm looking at them. They're going to be 0 whatever, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, and then they got to figure it out from there.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly don't know what the rest of their team looks like. I don't think I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but I don't know, from some of the. I mean, if you just look off again, I base a lot of my win totals on Vegas, what they had, and I think they had them at like four and a
Yeah,
half
4.5.
wins. So not much is expected from them
I'll tell you
this
that
year.
Tom Brady's not there. I tell you that's a fact.
He's not walking through that door
Nope,
into
he
the
ain't walking
locker
through those doors anytime soon.
room. Holy shit, sir! Your last team threw me for a loop because I saw it. I'm like, oh, because yeah. By the way, we had to know what we were talking about because we didn't want to double down. But
Right, correct. Have
yeah,
the same teams.
yeah, we knew what the teams were, but we didn't know why, and that was we kept the why as a surprise,
Correct.
so we can just react off of. But anyway, your number three storyline for the NFL this year are the New York Football Giants. Mister the Eli Manning defender is on the clock now, sir. Go ahead and I mean I have a feeling I know why you picked this team, but and we'll talk about a little bit about it later. But go ahead.
Because I tell you why, and we've discussed this in a couple of episodes, but I'm kind of rephrasing it now. And it's not
Sure.
based off Daniel Jones,
Oh, okay.
but it's about Daniel Jones, but not about him. You're gonna see what I'm about to say.
Okay.
And the person I'm hearing about a lot is Malik Neighbors, and that this
Yes.
kid is special.
That's what
I've
I keep
seen him
hearing.
a couple of preseason. He's made some phenomenal catches.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Preseason or not, he's made the catch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't catching the ball has nothing to do with it being a
Sure.
preseason game. You
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
what I'm trying to say?
You can just catch.
You could just
Yeah.
catch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal the record I have them at right now,
Okay. That's fine.
but is Malik Neighbors good enough to make Daniel Jones look good and win 2 to 3 more games that'll go under Daniel Jones's belt and have the Giants rethink what they really want to do?
And that's a fucking problem for me.
That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah. It's a problem for me. And I told you, listen,
Because
I
not to interrupt, but
no, go ahead. No, no.
listen, they're gonna mention, yes, he made great catches. It's because of late neighbors, but you can't deny it's still the person that threw the ball, which is the
Sure.
quarterback.
Yeah, of course. But his neighbors, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I said it. Go back and watch that fucking first half of that preseason game that Jones shit the bed. The only reason why some of those drives were sustained was because neighbors made spectacular catches on shitty throws.
That's my point. And what is this called? Two dummies that just watch. When you go back and let's say you go further, let's say these great catches happen mid-season and the Giants are 5-1 because of that. Come
Sure.
week 17, if the Giants are 5 games over 500, they're just gonna know Jones made that throw and Neighbors made the catch.
Yeah.
They're not gonna know Neighbors did whatever he did. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I do. But I mean, I hope people like us, and I hope that people out there are fucking smart enough to realize that the reason why is
It's
because
because you
neighbors
have to.
can
My
catch the
point.
fucking ball.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's my point, which is why you have to watch.
Yeah.
Because if
Go
you
back.
just look at the numbers, it may say
You know,
Jones 20 of
yeah.
25, 295, 3 TDs. They were all to Neighbors, but they were all over his head. For some reason, he caught it with one hand, 2 toe taps,
Yeah,
touchdown,
exactly. Exactly. No, you're
or
right.
whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. I'm just making
Yeah.
something up.
And I said that. I said the only way that they make the playoffs, I have a sniff at the playoffs, if one of the things if neighbors is good enough to make up for Jones's mistakes. I completely agree with that. I mean, I actually have them winning more than I originally thought, but I don't have them making the playoffs. And
Okay.
we'll talk about that later. Um, okay. My number three, it's the Chiefs. Only because can they win three in a row? That's the question. What was the last time it was done, or has it been done?
3 in a row.
3 Super Bowls in a row. Why do I feel like? Let's see.
I want. I
Is
feel
it the
like I want to.
Steelers?
I don't know
I'm
why I
looking it
want to
up
think the
now.
49ers. It's not the 49ers.
No, let's see. No team in
No,
NFL
no
history
team.
has
Right.
ever won 3 straight. So this is it. This is the storyline for the year, I think. Now, the other thing too to look at. You got your boy Kelsey on fantasy, but they're already saying he's a year older. Is he going to have the same production that he's always had? Blah blah blah. But then there's the Mahomes factor,
I mean,
and then
these last 2 years that they won the Super Bowl, they said the same stuff.
yeah, that's right. There,
And
you're right.
one of the things that was added to that was, oh, what they're doing, not signing Tyreek Hill. That's it. It's over for them. Their
Right,
deep threat is over. Since then, how many has Tyreek Hill won, and how many more has the Chiefs won?
right. Exactly,
Hello, experts.
exactly. I mean, plus you have the there's the head that the X factor in Andy Reid. I mean, it's this guy.
This guy
He
wins.
knows what he's doing,
He eats and he wins.
dude. By the way,
And he
I
probably
said,
outkicked his coverage in people's opinion on what they think his wife looks like,
yeah.
depending on who you ask.
By the way, those cartoons I send you, guys.
Mhm.
You guys need to look up a account called Riot Sports or Riot Comedy. One of the two. They had one where it was Taylor Swift. You know this whole thing about that she's
Yes.
been coming up with plays,
Yes.
and
I've heard that before.
dude,
I've seen that.
this guy already made a
Yeah.
cartoon about it, dude. And you see Andy Reid sitting there listening to them with the plays, and he's eating a hamburger and he's fucking just passing gas and talking about taking a dump. It's
I'm
fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna keep this PG-13. When was the last time Andy Reid saw his feet? You think that guy gives a shit? That guy's a winner, bro. And I would love to have him as my coach.
Oh
And you know
my
another
god.
guy that I really like? The running back, Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Guy,
yeah.
bro, this guy's a
I wanted to draft
barbarian.
him, but he was unavailable.
He was drafted in the 6th or 7th round when he was drafted. This guy's.
Mhm.
You ever seen a little kid run around a sneaker store when they trying on brand new shoes?
That's him.
Like a maniac? That's how he
Yeah.
runs.
That's
And
funny.
whoever's in his way, he runs them over.
I didn't think about it that
The
way.
guy, the guy's awesome, man. He's great. He's great.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a running game like that, even if Mahomes doesn't have a great day throwing, you just gave the ball to that guy.
Like I've always said, if you could play quarterback and you're competent and you have intelligence, you'll be just fine.
Yeah,
There's a such thing as making your teammates better depending on who you are.
right.
I believe in that 100%. More so in basketball with the point guard, but I do think it happens with the quarterback.
Yeah,
You
I
have
agree.
to have your team believe what you're saying and what you're doing. And Mahomes is that guy, man. I don't care what anyone says.
He's going back to our top all-star NBA thing last week. He is in let's not as far as like leadership is concerned, maybe not in the same way, but he is like a Jordan-esque
Yeah.
figure
Yeah, I agree with
in
that.
that way. Take me to the promised land, put me on your back. I'm gonna put the team on my back, and I'm gonna
Two,
be like,
2 minutes
let's do
left.
this.
They got to go one end zone to the other end zone. You don't think his teammates believe in him?
How many times has he done it?
Come on, man.
It's
He's
so
like,
fun to watch.
he's telling them, listen, I don't need you wide open. Just get a little open. I'll
Yeah.
get you the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I have them. Well, we'll get into it later. I know we keep on teasing that, but so the bonus thing, just quickly, because I know we've talked about this already. At what point do you think we're going to get a kickoff return for a touchdown with this new kickoff? Is it going to happen in week 1, or is it going to take a while for them to figure this out? What do you think?
I like to go against the grain. I'm going to go week 1.
You're
Somebody's
going to
going
go
to
week
return
1,
a
then
kickoff.
somebody's going to return it. Okay, interesting.
Because
Interesting.
I'll say this: as a preseason progressed, I saw returns with a little bit more yardage.
Got y'all. Yes, I know. Yeah, they
You know what
got
I'm saying?
longer. Yes, yes.
So that's
yes,
why
yes, yes.
I'll they're going to figure it out, and I think
Yeah.
week 1 somebody will return a kick.
I guarantee you, Andy Reid's going to do some crazy shit with this thing. And I think what's going to happen is what I talked about. You're going to see I think you're going to start seeing laterals more, taking a chance on a lateral. And once one team starts doing that, other teams are going to start doing it. Because it's just like the fucking tush push, right? The Eagles started doing it. And then all of a sudden, everybody else started doing it. So once somebody.
You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking of a play. You got 11 people returning the ball, right?
Yeah.
So you got 11 on offense, 11 on defense on this kickoff. I was wondering if this would work because remember, you can't You can't run. No team can run until the ball's touched.
Right. Can't move. Yeah.
So I wonder if the team that's returning the kick
Uh-huh.
separate not is it no not 9, it would be 8. Just put 8 on the line, set them up to where a couple of them are gonna have to like at least chip block 2 of them or touch 2 of
Yeah.
them. Leave 2 in the middle behind the line, and then the
Okay.
returner.
I see what you're saying.
So 8 on the
2 and
initial
1.
line, 2 and 1. Because the guys that are coming full speed, those 2 guys in the middle, that might be a way to let you go
Interesting.
if you follow them on either side.
Right. I guess my question
Or
is
the
that
2 in the
allowed,
middle,
though?
just follow those 2 to the guys that are not blocked.
Right.
Because everybody else is blocked.
Right.
And see if that lets you a little outlet.
I guess my question is if that is allowed
It's legal.
in the formation.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought about it.
Because I've seen so far, you see 2 guys back there for the most part. Like 2 guys have been back there. So you can at least have 2 people off the line. So yeah, I'll be curious. Someone's gonna have a hack. I'm telling you this right
Somebody
now.
will figure this out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of small coaches out there. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So let's go into this QB discussion. And this is a lot of it. This is on you. So I'm gonna follow your lead. And I know this is something you've been teasing. We've been periodically talking about it. Leach has a fucking he's got an Andy Reid notebook in front of him right now.
2 pages.
Jesus Christ.
I really studied this because I wanted to make sure if I wasn't 100% right, I'm at least 95% right on what I'm about to tell you. Because it's not that complicated.
Yeah, got it. So, sir, the floor is yours right now.
All right, my first question to you is,
oh boy, here we go.
What is the reason why teams draft in the top 10? Why do that team based on their previous year, why do they draft in the top 10? Because they what?
Because they suck.
Because they don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. I saw you overthinking a little bit. No. This has nothing to do with grammar and commas and semicolons. Very simple answer. Because they suck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the correct answer.
Sure.
And over the years, has it been pretty much the same teams always in the top 10?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
For the most part.
Yeah. I was going to go back to 2004 to say what I had to say, but I said, you know what? I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to go to 2014. I just went 10 years.
Not even 10 years. Yeah, 10 years.
And this is going to go back to what we both of us agreed on about the quarterback drafting and sitting behind and learning.
Okay.
Where should I start?
Jesus.
Where should I start?
That's scary.
Very interesting.
Holy shit.
I'll start with this fact.
Okay.
Since 2014, 28 QBs have been drafted in the first round. And this is just
28, you said.
28. And this is just
20. Okay.
Yeah, first round, because I did on some years I went past the number 10 pick for a particular reason. And when I give you their name, you'll know why.
Okay.
14 of those QBs since 2014 till today.
So half of them
have been traded, released, or picked up by another team.
Damn.
And not by only one team, numerous teams. Only 3 have appeared in a Super Bowl.
3 of the 28.
3. Only 3 have appeared in a Super Bowl since 2014.
Okay.
And there's only one that have won.
We all know who that is.
Can you tell me who that name is?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Can you name the other 2 that have at least appeared in Super Bowls?
Joe Burrow.
Correct.
And appeared. The other guy. Who's the other guy?
I'll give you a hint. He appeared, but he didn't appear for the team he plays for now. It was the team he was drafted by.
We just talked about this. Didn't appear for the team. Go ahead. Just hit me with
Jared Goff.
Oh yes, okay, because he was with
Rams,
Detroit
when they played the Patriots,
right?
And they lost to the Patriots,
and now he's with the Lions, right?
Correct.
Got it.
2014, round 1, pick number 3, Blake Bortles.
Oh my God!
Jacksonville Los Angeles Rams, Denver, Green Bay, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. Can you tell me what he did in the NFL, sir?
Jesus Christ, nothing.
Yeah, let's move on. Round 1, pick 1, and pick 2 in the 2015 draft. Back to back. James Winston, and Marcus Mariota.
Damn. Woof.
2016. Round 1, pick 2. Jared Goff, which has had a decent career, hasn't won anything,
Yeah.
but has been pretty good.
Yes.
And a lot of people have what? Buried him.
Yes.
Number 2, Carson Wentz. Philly, Indy, Washington, Rams, and now Kansas City. 2017, number 2, round. This is all round 1. Pick number 2, Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh my God.
Number 10, Patrick Mahomes.
At number 10 too.
Number 12,
Daniel Jones. No?
the massage lover, Deshaun Watson. The masseuse lover, sorry.
Oh, that's right. Daniel Jones came later, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
2018, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, which still hasn't won anything, but has built a pretty decent career so far.
Yeah.
And so they went 1, 3, and 7, and at number 32 was Lamar Jackson.
Value right there.
2019, Kyler Murray. Here we go. Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Dwayne Haskins.
Where the fuck is he?
Who? Haskins?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Where is
he?
He?
He's dead. He died. Remember that thing on the incident? Jesus Christ! I can't believe I just had to.
Sorry. God forgive
hit
me.
The mute. Hit the mute button.
God forgive me.
That doesn't work.
I totally forgot that he died. Holy shit.
2020. Joe.
Sorry. Okay.
2020. Joe Burrow, Tua, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. 21. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. 22 was Kenny Pickett, which we talked about a little bit before.
He's not. That's crazy.
2023, Bryce Young, which was just last year. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. They went 1, 2, and 4. My point is that besides, I want to get this right now. My point is the majority of these quarterbacks were thrusted into playing. This is just 10 years of something I sat down and I did for a few hours today because I wanted to make sure I got majority of what I'm saying correct.
Yeah.
And this is fact. You just bring it up. The quarterbacks that were drafted. Somebody that might not even have to look this up. They may know it by heart.
Yeah. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not. Go ahead.
So whose fault is it? Is it because everyone thought that this quarterback was great? You put him with no team, you draft him, you thrust him right in there. Hypothetically, if these quarterbacks that wound up being bad, because now you think that they just can't play football, which is not true. They just didn't have a team around them.
Right.
So now if we put these players on a team and they got drafted by like a good team,
right?
They have a different
I see
career?
What you're saying. Yeah. That's tough. That's a tough question.
This is like, listen, I'm a Jets fan. Let's just do it. I'm just going to do it. I don't care anyone. No one's going to get offended because I'm just trying to make an example of what I'm trying to say to make it clearer. Right. They drafted Zach Wilson.
Right.
Number 2, a couple years ago. The kid wound up being terrible for the team. Facts. Did he show glimpses of what he can do because he had a great throwing arm? Sure.
Yeah.
But what if he was drafted by the Chiefs? 49ers. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So he got drafted. The Jets weren't ready to win anything at that time, but they thought this kid could bring them to the promised land based off his arm talent. Horseshit. What if they would have drafted a veteran and let him sit like we mentioned? Would he have been different? I don't know. I can't answer that now. He's gone. Yeah. But this is what happens but this get-rich-quick scheme with these quarterbacks, all these teams do it.
They do.
And the fact of the matter is that it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. But I think the reason, because it's such a quarterback-heavy league, you have to force it to make it work, I think. And that's the problem.
And the problem is you're ruining what could probably be a good quarterback if you just gave
Mhm.
it time. The
Yeah.
college, what this kid is doing in college is different from what he could do in the NFL, especially you're drafted number one for a reason because your team sucked. Which is why
Right.
I asked the question.
Yeah.
So you expect this kid to come out of college and take your team
Mm,
to the promised land. And meanwhile, you have the same problems you had the year before because you didn't replace everybody with the first pick or the second pick or the third pick. You just took
right.
a quarterback, but you still
Yeah.
need a left tackle. You still need a running back. You still need a wide receiver. You still need somebody on special teams. Like, it's mind boggling how everyone goes by the numbers. And when it comes to the quarterback, numbers don't exist.
Yeah.
They
That's a
just
good
go on
point.
what they see in college. This guy's the next. And it's funny how all these quote unquote experts have the same opinion. No one has a different opinion. They all have the same opinion. You know what? When I'm going to start taking like Mel Kiper and all these people's opinion, like seriously, when they're the ones that say, you know what, somebody should be drafting Brock Purdy in the first round,
Yeah.
not the sixth round because he's Mr. Irrelevant and they just
Right.
picked him because they
Mm,
picked him.
hmm
It doesn't make any. Look at the Packers, man. They've had three quarterbacks in like the last 25 years or whatever it's been: Favre, Rodgers, and Love.
And I love, right.
And what do they all have in common? They sat and learned.
Yep. Yep. It's true.
Mahomes sat and he learned Super Bowl wins. But for some reason, they still do it this way. It's mind boggling, bro. This really bothers me in the NFL. I can't explain it.
Let's see
It
that.
bothers me.
I guess my
It's
question.
weird.
No, I think so. I guess my question to you is maybe the simple question is how do you fix that? But I think the answer is well, you have to have more patience. But the problem is when you're trying to sell season tickets and all this other shit, I think it's hard to have patience in this league. So so my first question, I guess, is how do you fix this? Just be patient. I mean,
You have to.
is
Part
that
of
as
it is
simple as
being
that?
patient. Part of it is
Hmm
being patient. See, you can't listen. Like all these people, all these players, and all these GMs and all these owners say that they don't listen to social media and the fans. They're lying based
Yeah,
off
that's
how they
full of shit.
draft.
Yeah.
They're lying, and based how they start, they're lying. What I would do is at least to try to bring in people that are veterans that have been proven to win.
Right.
You may not make the playoffs. I'm not trying to sell the playoffs, but you got to bring a level of competence, whatever the word is I'm trying to say.
Competency.
Onto the
Yeah.
field
Yeah.
to where, as fans, all right, we're trying to do something here, but at the end of the day, if they say who this guy is they drafted and they start getting the pieces around him, we're going to be a winner in 2-3 years because it
Yeah.
takes time.
It's a bridge. Yeah. You gotta have a bridge
It
guy in
takes
a way.
time.
And it's
I
funny.
just don't understand because these fans are the same fans that are so quick on the trigger. Jets fans,
Yeah.
I'm one. You guys have all these quick get rich quick schemes, ba 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 ba, and you continue to see it not working. And you don't want to see nothing change about it. You still want to complain about the same thing. Like it's weird. Bro. It's weird to me. It's weird.
And the thing is, though, I feel like the Jets are going to run into that after Rodgers is gone because who the fuck's back? There's somebody there?
I'm so happy you said that. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Hello, New York Jets. Woody Johnson, whoever's the GM at the time. If you guys are listening to this, I haven't looked at his contract. Whatever. A guy that you should be trying to get right now, not now, or maybe next year. Just look at it.
Mhm.
You got to make a trade for him or something. This kid Tyson Bagent, the backup quarterback for the Bears.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
like this kid a lot. He got attitude. He got toughness. He could throw the ball. He could run the ball. I like this kid a lot, and I'll leave it at that.
Mm. One thing that I started thinking
Because
about.
if Caleb is
Yeah.
who he is, he's never
Mhm.
going to get a shot with
Oh,
Chicago.
of course. Yeah. That's a good point. No, yeah. I mean, that was what it used to be back in the day, if we remember.
Yes.
If somebody had a hot shot, surefire number one QB, those backups usually got starting jobs someplace else
Yes.
as like a bridge into, if somebody drafted a stud. And listening to you talk, this is why I wanted the Giants to draft the quarterback this year because you could have at least, you want to start Jones the whole year? Fine. You're paying him whatever the fuck you're paying him. But could you imagine? And again, you don't know JJ McCarthy gets hurt. But if you could imagine if JJ McCarthy had a whole year sitting on the bench and seeing what it's like to play in New York, in one of the toughest, if not the toughest markets in the country, sat down for a year and watched things play out. You're telling me McCarthy wouldn't be better for it in the coming years? Come on, you fucking just made the point. You made the point for us. You know?
That's what I'm trying to say. And the Daniel Jones pill would have been easier to swallow
Yes, exactly.
because they know
I
there's
will.
somebody there. Because the writing's on the wall. You told us, all right.
Yes.
You know what? Daniel Jones has been here. He's the bridge guy because we know you're telling us you drafted this guy. He's the future, but he needs to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. This off the top of your head, who's won the last multitude of Super Bowls these last years?
Yeah.
Mahomes, Brady. The
Yeah.
names don't fucking
Yeah,
change.
they don't. They really don't.
And these are the teams that let them learn. Yes, Brady came in due to injury. You couldn't help that. But we don't know if they were grooming him.
Yeah.
We knew they were grooming Mahomes. And these teams win. Like, I'm going to say this one more time and then whatever. It's weird to me because the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
With waiting.
Yeah.
The numbers are on your side when you wait. The Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken, when they had Alex Smith, they weren't a bad team. They
No,
just knew
they
Alex
weren't.
Smith wasn't taking them to where they wanted to go.
Yeah.
And the
exactly.
Kansas City fans were good with that. They understood
Yeah.
that because they knew who they had on the bench.
Right.
And they knew who they had as their coach. But you bring these young kids into the NFL game, and all you hear is the NFL's tough. It's not the college football. But for some reason, these GMs think that they could win with them, and they have no team around them.
Like it translates right away.
Yeah,
That
it doesn't
happen.
make any sense. You're contradicting yourself within the same sentence. It's
weird.
The
And this was something that came up in regards to the Notre Dame quarterback. And I guess I sort of kind of maybe could agree with that, but there's this idea that a quarterback that puts in a full 4 years is much better off than a guy that comes out earlier because he would be quote unquote maybe more prepared for the NFL. I don't know. I would love to maybe another episode I can sit down and do some research on that to see guys who were there for 4 years and kind of what happened afterwards. If you want to throw that out there, if somebody wants to throw that out there, that could be, a good argument that maybe that guy that put in 4 years at college can come in right away and make a difference. Okay, maybe. Let me get back to everybody and do some research on that. But
I could actually go with that more than just throwing this guy after 2 years into the fire and saying he's going to lead us to a championship. It doesn't work. When was the last guy that anyone drafted that way and have won a Super Bowl?
My question there is, what's your grace period? Is it within 1 to 3 years that wins the Super Bowl?
I think enough.
What's fair?
I think the NFL is a sport where football, I should say, is a sport where in a year, I think enough happens because it's not like
interesting.
It's not like baseball, basketball. You call a play. There's really nothing happening besides you calling the play, and not so much baseball. You know what I mean? They call a pitch,
yeah.
You hit it or you don't hit it. Basketball, You call a play, dribble. The point guard calls a play. They don't like the play. They call a timeout. Blah. It's pretty simple. But there's so many different aspects of football within one play.
Right.
10 different things are happening on a football field.
Yeah.
So now I think I would like to know, what's the average range of how many different plays between defense and offense happen within one football game? You multiply that by 17.
Sure.
You're learning that for the whole year.
Yeah.
Then you go into the offseason learning that. You take that information in. Then you come into camp and I think there's just so much information you can learn within. Oh, how did he handle this? 2-minute drill, yada yada yada. There's just so much you could learn sitting on the bench if you're paying attention and you really want to be that next guy in football opposed to any other sport. I just don't. I don't know, man. This is it's weird, and just they keep falling flat on their face, and they still don't want to do it the way that works.
It's interesting listening to you talk about that. Like, so I'm curious, and I'm sure this is out there, and I'll have to take a look. What do the analytics say as to why you throw a guy out there as quickly as you do? Because it's got to be something to it, right?
There
For as
has to be some,
analytics
but
heavy as sports is
it
now,
still doesn't matter.
right? Well, yeah, no, I know
But
what you're
yes,
saying,
I would say just to
but I'm
see it.
yeah,
If
I'm
there is a
curious.
such number, I agree with
I
yes.
guarantee you that there has to be.
Yeah,
There
there
has
has
to
to
be
be
something.
100%.
There
It has to
absolutely
be.
has
There
to be
has to be.
something. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some for a later episode. I'm gonna have to do some research of my own and kind of see the whole 4 year thing. So I'm very curious if that is really a thing. But no, that was good. I kind of had a feeling I knew where this discussion was going, and it kind of went in the direction I thought it was going to go. So that's good. I like that. So a few weeks back, we kind of did, thanks to our buddy Eric for asking one of the questions about what we thought the Giants win by win thing was going to be, and we kind of went through that. And I think mine kind of changed, but we're going to go through that exercise now with both teams. I just did the Jets one today, and I was like, I can't believe I have them winning this many games. But um, so do you? We'll give our go through the you go through the whole season, and then I'll go through the whole season, and then kind of we can discuss you know that. But do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You know what we should do? Because I want to see where you stand. You know what we're gonna do here? I'm gonna go first Giants. You go first Jets, and then I'll
Oh,
go Jet.
okay.
You get what I'm
And then
saying?
opposite. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So I'll go first. I'll go first, and I'll
You
do
got
the
to go first with the
Giants.
Giants. Okay,
And
go ahead.
I don't really remember what I said, and I couldn't find the episode. And it's not like we got so many episodes, but I just did it. I just did it again from scratch, based
Okay,
off what I'm
I did
thinking
mine
here.
again from scratch too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I asked total record. I have them going 9-8.
Wow, that's interesting.
I have the Giants, which is why I posed that question. Once I did this again, that's why I came up with the neighbors question.
Go ahead. I'll get it. Well, yeah.
Because because what I'm saying to myself is, if I have them going 9-8, I mean, League Neighbors could do the magic they're saying he could do it. Now, can they that they say that he can do? Can they go 11 or 10-7? Just
Right.
10-7. Forget about 11-6. 10-7.
By the way, just before you go on, Eric, who we know, he put a bet in. He went to the casino. I think I
Mm-hmm.
told you in North
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Carolina, and he put a bet in $100 bet for the Giants to make the playoffs. So he's going to be happy to hear this. And he goes to me, I probably just wasted $100. And I'm like, yeah, you probably did. But the payout's 400 plus the 100. So it's a $500 payout. Who knows?
Based on what
But
I said about Neighbors, if he does what I think he could do, they could probably sneak in.
there you go, Eric. Hope take that to the bank.
So I'm going to start with the wins first.
Sure.
Uh, I have them beating Minnesota, Washington, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Washington again, Carolina, the Buccaneers, the Saints, and the Colts.
Okay. Wow, you actually have them. Okay. Interesting.
This is where them making the playoffs, I'm on the fence about, but you're at home, you play well, you could sneak one, and it's the division. I have them losing both times to the Eagles and the Cowboys. But
Mm,
they could beat one of them at home or at their house, whatever the case may be. So
sure.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I have them losing to Seattle, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Atlanta.
You and I have very similar, and I'll get into it later, but you're very similar. I mean, listen.
And that leaves them at 9-8.
Well,
And like I said, a win here, a win here that you don't expect them to win,
right.
10-7. Dare I say 11-6?
Jesus, dude. I'll fucking run naked down Grand Street here in Newburgh.
Ay, ay, ay.
So I'll give, okay, let's, you got your Giants. I'll give the Jets. Then you give your Jets, and I'll give my Giants. And then
Yes.
we'll talk about what we think. So I'm going to go week by week because I just like doing it that way. Week 1, I have them losing against the 49ers. But here's where I think week 2 at Tennessee, win. Week 3 versus New England, win. Week 4 versus Denver, win. Week 5 at Minnesota in London, win. Week 6 versus Buffalo, win. Week 7 at Pittsburgh, win. Week 8 at New England, win. Here's where they come. Here's their loss. Versus Houston, week 9, loss. Then they go week 10 at Arizona and win. They go week 11, beat Indianapolis. Week 12 is a bye. Week 13, win against Seattle. Week 14 at Miami, they lose. This is where things get a little dicey for them at the end. Week 15, win at Jacksonville. They're going to be in Florida for a week. Week 16, they lose to the Rams. Week 17, they lose at Buffalo. But then week 18, they win. And that puts them at 12-5. And they are atop the AFC East, by the way. We'll get into that later. How fucking crazy do you think I am that I have them winning 12 fucking games?
And I swear, I didn't even do this while being a Jets fan because you already know how I felt about Rodgers. And
Yeah.
you're not nuts because I have more.
All right. You got the. Okay. Let's hear it. Go ahead. Go.
You want me to go now?
Yeah. It's your turn for the Jets.
I'm really on the
You're
fence.
fucking drunk. Are you drunk when you put this together?
No, I didn't. I didn't because, like I said, this right now all we know is what we have in front of us, which is on paper.
Yes.
And we know who Rodgers is, even at 40, 41. As much as I felt about him coming in here, people would still take them over the quarterback they have.
Oh, fuck, of course they would.
The Jets have talent on offense. The Jets have talent on defense. So paper, we're one of the best teams in NFL. And I'm not naive. You don't win shit on paper.
Right, exactly.
So I'm just going based off what I see.
Sure.
And who they're going to go against. It's not a bias. Because if I thought they were going to be 6 and whatever, I would tell you that.
No, I know you would. I know.
So I was on the fence about San Francisco just because of a couple things. Trent Williams isn't there. They just signed Ayuk. There was like a little thing I saw on social media about now Samuel wants his money. Debo Samuel wants more money or something like that. But I'll be fair. I'm going to keep to what I wrote originally when I wrote this list, and I have them losing to the 49ers. Yeah.
You know why? Because now they gotta do it for this guy that got shot. I still can't believe that whole thing.
Oh my God! Yes.
That's
Presley,
anyway.
Whatever
we're not gonna go there. But it's an unbelievable story. He walked out of the hospital today. By the way,
yeah, he did.
Yeah, crazy.
So I have them losing that game.
Okay,
here comes the fun. I have them beating Tennessee, New England, Denver, Minnesota. I think I mixed up the weeks here. What's the week after Minnesota? That's
Buffalo.
Buffalo, the Monday night game, right? That's week 6.
Yeah.
I have them winning that game. I have them beating Pittsburgh.
Yep.
New England.
Yep.
And this is where I guess we differ a little bit. I have them actually beating Houston again.
Okay.
Arizona. I have them beating Colts, Seattle, Jacksonville.
You forgot Miami. Week 14.
Well, yeah, they come. Okay, yeah, that's right. I have them. That first one in Miami, I have them losing.
Yeah, so do I. Okay.
The second one in Buffalo, I have them losing.
Okay.
Then I have them beating Seattle, Jacksonville, Rams, and then Miami, which gives me a grand total of, if I'm not mistaken, is that 14-3.
Wow. That is Jesus Christ. That is interesting. Okay, let me go through my Giants and then we can kind of discuss our, we can do a huddle. Pardon the pun. Okay. So week 1 win Minnesota. I think they're going to beat the Vikings week 1. Week 2 at Washington win. This is where things start getting a little dicey for them. Week 3 loss against the Browns. Week 4, I actually think that they do win against the Cowboys. Week 5 at Seattle, loss. Week 6 at versus Cincinnati, loss. Week 7 versus Philadelphia, loss. Week 8 at Pittsburgh, win. Week 9 versus Washington, win. Week 10 at Carolina, win. Week 11's a bye. Week 12 versus Tampa, loss. Week 13 at Dallas, loss. Week 14 versus New Orleans, win. Week 15 versus Baltimore, loss. Week 16 at Atlanta, win. Week 17 versus Indianapolis, loss. Week 18 at Philadelphia, loss. So that puts them at 8-9. Not much of a, I mean, there really isn't much of a difference
So you have
between.
them losing both. Take away the commanders. You have them also losing both games against Dallas and the
No. I
Eagles.
have them splitting
I
against
missed it.
Dallas.
Oh yeah, yes. Okay, I got you. Yes,
I
yes,
have
yes,
them
yes.
losing both games against
You have them
Philadelphia.
winning the one in week 13 at Dallas, or which one? Which
No,
one did you have? The
the
first one
one
at
at home.
the one at home. Got
The
you.
week 13 one is in as on Thanksgiving to ruin my holiday, just like we did last year or 2 years ago,
Got
whatever
you.
it was. So here's the thing. Let's stay on the Giants quickly. I uh, I think the reason because I think I had them originally at only 7 wins, and it eked up based off of some stuff that I saw in the preseason. I know it's just a preseason, I get it, but I'm confident in the defense. Secondary is fucking suspect right now, but the way it was described to me how they're going to play the secondary, I was like, oh, it seems like a gamble the way they're going to play like the scheme for the secondary. Um, the neighbors factor, right? We talked about this, and I do think the offensive line is better. So there are going to be a few things that are going to have to happen for them to make the playoffs. But don't forget how many games last year did they lose in like the final few minutes of the game, and they lost. It was very close. So do you turn some of those around this year because quote unquote you have better talent? I don't know, sir. What are you and your reasoning for the Giants making the playoffs? What besides the neighbors factor? What else? What else do you
I think I
have?
originally had them losing to Cleveland. F Cleveland. They're going to beat Cleveland.
I gotta sneak
There's a
you into
couple here
Mustard.
originally I had them losing, but I changed it. I think another one was the Saints. I changed them to them beating the Saints. Listen, the offensive line is better. All points you took. Let's not talk about neighbors. We keep talking about because he's the one fact that everyone probably agrees upon.
Sure, yeah.
Listen, you also need some luck throughout any sports year of
Mhm.
any sport, whatever the case may be. If I'll say this, and this is going to go to our man in Georgia
Eric, you listening?
for his $100. If the Giants, let's say you got them at 8-9, I have it at 9-8, which is closer to what Eric has them at because he has them making the playoffs, right?
Right.
So let's just say whatever I have written here is correct. That's not what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Let's just say
Yeah.
what I picked is right. They wind up being 9-8. However, they win, whatever, it's still 9-8.
Yeah.
If they could find a way to split with both Dallas, Philadelphia, and find out and try to beat one of those other teams that people may not expect them to beat,
Like a Cincinnati.
and then beat everybody else they're supposed to beat,
Yeah. Yeah.
correct, like a Cincinnati,
Yeah.
the Giants will make the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's feasible. I'm not saying that it's
Because
not.
within your division, you unless you're like a great, you're not going to really sweep unless you're like a really great team. You're going to
Yeah.
usually probably split. And Dallas has their flaws. Phillies has their flaws. I'm just going based on what we've seen up to the last couple of years with both those teams.
Right.
So if they could split with both of those, like I said, all they have to do is win one against a team that no one expects them to win, and then beat
Mm-hmm.
everybody else they're supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, go spend your $400 well, my brother. Maybe go to the strip club, get some cocaine. No,
Whoa.
don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do that.
don't let his wife hear that. Pay your wife back for the PS5. There you go. All right. Jets. I think for me, it's for the reasons you mentioned. And again, everybody knows I'm not a Jets fan. I don't even like hate the Jets. I don't their Jets are just the Jets. Like they're just there to me.
It's the
It's
same
not
thing
like
with it's not a
it's not like the
it's not a
Yankees.
rivalry like people
Yeah,
think. It's not a
yeah.
rivalry. I wish people
It's
would
just
stop
not.
saying that. They don't play each other enough for it to be a rivalry. It's more that's a fan thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we know what I think about some of the fans, but I think my difference maker is just the defense. I just think again, I mentioned this a few weeks back. They have the S tier defense that is going to win them games. I think that is really it's really the bottom line. And obviously, listen, Rodgers has to stay healthy. We know that. If he gets hurt, that's it. It's done. That's it. It's over. No, that's no Super Bowl, no Super Bowl aspirations. It's done. So I'm gonna be very very curious. I am going out of my way on that Monday night game when I'm at the conference. I'm gonna be like, hey everybody, see ya. I'm gonna go to a bar somewhere and just watch the game, take mental notes, and just kind of see how everything plays out. So that's my reasoning for at least the 12 wins, sir. And yours, I mean, we talked about it, but anything else to add to that
Just real
whole
quick,
thing?
what mine is really based off of is we have a healthy team right now going into the year. Rogers, knock on wood, is healthy. He stays healthy. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what I base my answer on, and it's
13's a
based
lot, bro.
and it's huh?
13's a lot of wins.
No, actually, I have them at 14,
14, 14,
and this is based off the shit and
14's a lot.
take off all the other garbage years of Jet football I've seen. I'm just going based
Mm-hmm.
off the last 2-3 years with Zach Wilson, and what I mean by that is we seen what happened. Mike White came in. They started making T-shirts. They made Zach Wilson feel like a piece of you know what.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. You heard all these reporters come on television. They hate Zach Wilson. They hate this guy. They hate that guy. The camaraderie sucks. The team sucks. Blah 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 blah. So now, if I could give my honest opinion about what I see with the Mets, I'm gonna give my honest opinion about the Jets, and it's based off the players. Listen, guys, Zach Wilson is gone.
Right.
Everybody's healthy. Defense is in full tact. You got one of the best quarterbacks to this day at 40, leading your team. Shut the fuck up and win.
The
Make the playoffs. All
excuses are
those
over.
excuses you had
Yeah.
before are out the window. Zach Wilson can't get me the ball. Mike White can't get me the ball. Trevor Simeon, how you expect us to win with him? And Boyle and blah, 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 blah. He's here. He's healthy. God willing, he doesn't get hurt again. Let's see what happens. So my decision is really based on what I've seen and heard for the last 2 or 3 years. That stuff isn't here anymore.
Right.
You have the guy you want.
The baggage is gone.
He's the man.
Mm-hmm.
40, 40, I don't care. He's better than a lot of these quarterbacks that are in the league.
It's true.
And he still got it. Because preseason or not, you can still see he could throw the ball down the field. That has nothing to do with a preseason game. That has nothing to do with a regular season game. Let's go.
Let's see how that affects his Egypt. Egypt. The moon. I still laugh when I hear that shit. Shit is hilarious. Oh my god.
That's it.
Okay. So let's look at the rest of the season. So we're gonna have a little fun with this, and this is where the fan participation is going to happen. And so you're gonna have to listen very carefully to the section. So let me spell this out for you guys. And this is just gonna be based on the regular season because it's just gonna be. I'm not gonna get fucking crazy with everything else. So Lee J and I have our own like little bet. Who can predict come the closest on predictions for records for the regular season in the NFL. Now, we are asking people who are listening if they want to participate, and this will obviously be based on whether we get any entries, who's going to play along with this. What we're going to do is we are going to have a contest, and you're not going to know the winner to the end of the year. I mean, this is the whole thing is based on the regular season record and who comes the closest. You'll win a gift card. Will probably be like $100. It'll probably be to Amazon. It's just something cool to brag about, win the contest, get $100 gift card, whatever. This is the way this is going to work. Okay, if you get an exact match on the record, so if you say, "Hey, this team's going to finish 10-7, and they finish 10-7, you're going to get 3 points. Now, if you're one game off, whether you're a game above or below, so if you say I predict 10-7 and the team finishes either 9-8 or 11-6, you get 1 point. And then obviously, if you're way fucking off, you get 0. Very simple formula. I'm going to put it in a spreadsheet. There's a formula that the Excel can do. So it'll, at the end of the year, it'll automatically tally the winners. Now, here's the caveat. You have to beat. You got to beat one of us. You got to finish higher than at least one of us. Okay? To win the money, to win the gift card. I think that's fair. It's only one of us, not both of us, one of us. So whoever it is. And then Lee J and I are going to have our own thing on the side. Probably, a night out in the town. Well, let's not get crazy. But so now, how to play? How can you contact us? Very simple. It's 2 Dummies Sports Podcast at gmail.com. Again, 2 Dummies Sports Podcast at gmail.com. You must get your picks in by this Thursday at 3 p.m. Again, if you're going to play along with this, you have to get your picks in by Thursday, September 5th by 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll say it again. 3 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, for the first game of the season. If it comes in after that, sorry, I'm not playing games. So you hear this tomorrow. Start working on it. Now, on to our picks. Let us start in the AFC East. I'll do my AFC East, you do your AFC East, and then we'll just kind of go down the line and then talk about playoffs and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, my AFC East, Jets at 12-5, Buffalo at 11-6, Miami at 10-7, and New England at 5-12. Sir, your AFC East.
As we spoke about before, the Jets 14-3, Buffalo 11-6, Miami 10-7.
Oh wow!
New England 3-14. Suck it.
Damn. Okay. All right. AFC North: Baltimore 11-6, Cincinnati 11-6, Cleveland. I have them at 9-8. I know you don't. And then Pittsburgh at 8-9.
All right. I have Cincinnati at 11-6, Baltimore at 10-7, Pittsburgh at 8-9, and again, you suck, Browns 4-13.
Okay. All right. AFC South: Houston 10-7, Jacksonville 9-8, Indianapolis 9-8, and Tennessee 7-10.
I have a surprise team in the AFC South.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. Let's go.
So the winner of that division would be the Texans at 11-6. My second place team, remember the Titans.
Oh, wow.
At 9-8.
Wow. Okay.
Jacksonville's going to take a little bit of a dip, and your man's going to get fired. They're going to be 8-9.
Okay.
And Indy at 6-11.
6-11. Wow. Okay. All right. AFC West: Kansas City at 13-4, the Chargers at 9-8, the Raiders at 8-9, and the Broncos at 6-11.
It's funny how we got a lot of the same order. There's a two or three teams that we have just swap in order. It's like this division. I'll tell you right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Kansas City. I have 13-4. We agreed on that. Second place team, I actually have the Raiders at 9-8.
Oh, okay.
Chargers 8-9. Denver at 4-13.
Okay. Well, you're really shitting on the last place teams in these.
Yes, they have, because that's why they're in last place.
Okay, so my playoff teams. Don't forget, take into account tiebreakers and all this other shit. This is just my
Yeah, we're not taking that into consideration. I didn't break it down like that. I'm just going
my.
by based off the record.
Well, no, yeah. No. I obviously division winners
Yeah,
get
yeah,
in,
yeah.
and then because if a team like if somebody finishes 11-6 and 11-6, I don't know, fucking. So anyway, so this is what I
Yeah,
said.
right. Correct. Because you got to depend on the seat.
Uh,
Yes.
so obviously Jets, Ravens, Houston, and Kansas City. So that's the 4. The other 3 would be Buffalo, Cincinnati. Oh wait, did I fuck up here? 1,
Yeah, I didn't want
2,
to make sure. So
3,
I did a
4,
little
5,
marking
6.
to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'm 1 short. Ooh, who can I pick? This is interesting.
I got
So right
1,
now,
2,
Kansas
3,
City, Jets,
4, 5,
Baltimore, Houston,
6, 7.
Cincinnati, Buffalo.
Yeah, because it's 7 per
Ooh,
conference.
that's 6. I am gonna say because a lot of 9 and 8 teams on my list.
Right.
Oh
That's where
no,
the tiebreaker
I
stuff
would say
comes in.
Dolphins because they're 10-7.
Got
So
you.
the AFC East is going to be very competitive and get 3 teams in there. So there you
That's
go.
what I have the same.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So
I have the division leaders at the Jets. As the Jets, we differ here. I have Cincinnati, Houston. I think we have the same, and Kansas City.
Okay.
And then the other teams that we're going to get in are Buffalo, Miami, Baltimore. That's it. That's my 7.
Okay. We have very similar teams in the playoffs.
So I have 3 coming out of the AFC East,
Yeah.
2 coming out of the North, 1 out of the South, 1 out of the West.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the AFC East will be the most competitive division this year.
I agree with that.
So okay, on to the NFC. Philadelphia 11-6, Dallas 10-7, Giants 8-9, Washington 6-11.
I have Dallas at 12-5.
Ooh, wow.
Eagles at 11-6. Giants at 9-8. And the Commanders at 5-12.
Got it. Okay, NFC North. Detroit 13-4. Green Bay 10-7. Minnesota 9-8. And the Bears at 8-9.
I have Detroit at 12-5. Green Bay at 11-6. I have the Bears at 8-9. And I have the Vikings at 7-10.
No respect for the Vikings, huh? Even with your boy as a starter, huh?
As long as he puts his numbers up that I need him to put up for my team, my fantasy team, all good.
All right, NFC South. This is like the shit division right here. Atlanta 9-8, Tampa Bay 7-10, New Orleans 7-10, and Carolina 3-14.
Similar. Okay. I have Atlanta at 10-7. I have New Orleans 9-8. Tampa Bay, I think they're going to take a drop. They're 6-11, and Carolina 3-14.
Oh wow, that's funny how we got that. Okay, NFC West. San Francisco at 12-5, the Rams at 9-8, Seattle at 7-10, and Arizona at 7-10.
49ers 12-5. Seattle 10-7. The Rams 9-8. Arizona 5-12.
And again, I fucked up and picked one less playoff team. Jesus Christ, I'll have to do this on the fly. Well, if we go by record, it'll be a tiebreaker situation. Anyway, so playoffs, obviously, the Eagles, Lions, Atlanta, and San Francisco. And then my other sneaking teams, the 2 right now, are Green Bay and Dallas. And then who's going to sneak in? I'm going to say the Rams at 9-8, even though I have them tying with Minnesota at 9-8. Maybe some kind of like tiebreaker. So the Rams will sneak in. And what about you, sir?
Dallas, Detroit, Atlanta, 49ers. Then I have the Eagles, Green Bay, and Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks. Okay. AFC Championship game. It's the Jets versus the Chiefs. Is that yours as well?
That's exactly what I have.
Okay. Okay. So my NFC championship game is the Lions versus the 49ers.
Oh
What
my
about
God, we
you?
got one team right, and then the same conference but different team. Same division but different team.
Who do you
So
got?
I got 49ers and I got Green Bay.
Oh shit, interesting. Okay. So here's my thing. My Super Bowl is Kansas City versus Detroit.
I was gonna originally go with that, but I changed it.
What did you go with? Oh boy.
And I don't usually do this for football, but I'm gonna
You're
do it.
being a homer. You're being a fucking
I'm being
homer.
a homer, and this is a beautiful Cinderella story. The New York Jets versus the Green Bay Packers.
Oh man. Could you imagine? Dude,
I could see it happening.
blow my fucking brains out. You know why? Because you know what all they're gonna talk about for 2 weeks. It is gonna be fucking that would be so fucking obnoxious. Oh my god. Anyway,
I could see it happening.
oh god, that would be crazy. My Super Bowl winner, I'm having Detroit put an end
Look at that.
for the Undertaker. Oh no, wait, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Doing the
Streak.
three-peat.
So Detroit Rock City, baby. Eminem's gonna be on the front float rapping as they go down whatever the fuck the main area is in downtown Detroit. Sir, I already know what you're gonna say here.
I can't say it out loud. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Oh yeah, cheeseheads. All right. Woo!
There you go.
Big State Packers. Holy shit. All right. Cool. All right. So we are going to do this episode's going faster than I thought it would. We are going to do well, it's only NFL, so Mount Rushmore. We are going to do a Mount Rushmore this week, and it is for obviously I'm a Giants fan, Legion's a Jets fan, so we're going to make it simple and do our Mount Rushmore of all-time players of our favorite NFL team. So I'll go first. I don't know if this is really in order. Maybe the top guy is, and we talked about this man briefly in our introduction episode, and that is Rodney Hampton.
Rodney Hampton.
Love that dude. That was like when the NFL was more about running back in like the 80s. So he's definitely my guy there. Lawrence Taylor, I mean, come on.
Come on. What are we talking about here?
He's my only guy on defense on this list. Obviously revolutionized that position. People feared him. He was just almost unblockable. His personal life afterwards has not been great, but
We're not going to talk about that now.
yeah, I'm not going to take away from what he did on the field. Victor Cruz. I mean,
interesting.
He was, I don't know, he was fun. He was always fun to watch. I know he pissed people off with the salsa shit, but it was fun.
Cruz,
it was a fun
salsa. Come on, guys, grow up.
Yeah, it was a fun thing. And then this is number one. It is Eli. I mean, I will stand by that man. That man did. He won Super Bowls at a time. Because don't forget, I mean, Giants fan. The Giants hadn't won since before that point, 1990 against the Bills, and obviously made it that one year against the Ravens and got destroyed. I forget about that one. That's funny because I was actually watching that with Eric, and we always say that we erased that fucking.
You got to put that in the purge files of your brain.
Oh God, that isn't even like compute anymore. But listen, the guy did he beat the Pats twice again? I don't have to go over this again, and he helped end Brady's and the Pats' undefeated streak that one year. So Eli is always going to have a special place in my heart that Daniel Jones will never have. So, sir, your Jets.
I actually
your
did
favorite
both
Jets of all time.
I have a couple favorite Giant players. I'll get into that after the Jets list.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, so I guess no particular order, but like you said, I guess maybe for the first guy, because I did mention him earlier, my favorite Jet of all time, Wayne Corbett.
Mm-hmm.
For the reason I've discussed in previous episodes, small guy, just determined, grit. Unfortunately, he had to retire because of too many concussions.
Yeah.
But I said, if I ever made the NFL, I'd be like him.
Scrappy dude.
Scrappy dude, man. He made it. A lot of people said he wasn't gonna make, and he made it at a Hofstra.
Dude,
So
how tall
that's
was
my guy.
he? Hold on. Like,
5'8", maybe, with heels on. He can't be that.
let me see.
There's no way
Wikipedia
he's like
has him.
6. There's no way
Dude, he's 41 now. They have him listed as 5'10". He's probably shorter than that.
he's not 5. There's no
Because
way he's
they
5'10".
always like they put
Yeah,
you
they
like
always
a couple
add
of
it. Yeah,
inches. Yeah.
they used to say John Starks was 6'5". He was 6'3".
He was not 6'5".
He wasn't 6'5". Um,
Okay.
then I have another guy, not a big dude, not a fast dude, but a great running back for the Jets, Curtis Martin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Started off with New England, fucked them, and came over here. That dude was awesome.
Yeah. I agree.
Hold on, what the hell did I mess this up somehow? Oh shoot, I think I messed this up somehow.
Oh
Damn it.
boy.
The next guy is I know what I did. Okay, never mind. The next guy is Darrell Revis.
Oh, Revis Island.
During the time he played, I don't care what anyone says, he was the best cornerback. No one was throwing his way.
Even better than Darryl Green.
You didn't no, at his time. At his
Oh,
when
at
he
his
played.
time.
When he played.
Okay,
When he
okay,
played. When he
okay.
played.
Gotcha.
When he played.
Got it.
That's that. And another guy that I really liked, I didn't want he wound up did he sign with another team at the time? I'm trying to or did they trade him? I think they wound up trading him. Got another pick. The pick they got for him turned into Nick Mangold, which then wound up I didn't feel so bad about it. But the guy that I'm referencing is John Abraham.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he was great on defense.
Yeah, he wasn't a big dude. Maybe 260 pounds, maybe 6'4".
That's a good pick.
Defensive
That's a
end
good one.
/ linebacker, but I liked him. I hated that they traded him, but whatever reason. But they did turn it into Nick Mangold, so it didn't wind up being as bad.
What did they trade him to? The Bucks, right?
Falcons.
No. Falcons.
And then he finished his career, I think, with the Cardinals.
Gotcha.
But I liked him on defense. He was awesome.
All right, give me some Giants. I'm going to pick some Jets off the top of my head. Corbett's definitely one of them, but go ahead.
I got 4 Giants that I one really didn't play too long with them, I don't believe, but I did like him a lot. But I'll go from as I wrote it here, I'll go from bottom to top. I love this dude at tight end. My main man, Mark Bavaro.
Oh yeah, dude,
that dude was, oh my god, bro. He was the epitome of like a tight end. You know what I mean? Like rough, running through tackles. He was awesome, bro.
He had like the big neck thing too, like the neck brace that I always remember. Yeah, he was great.
Obviously, Lawrence Taylor. I don't think you're a fan of any team you like Lawrence Taylor. That's just if you don't, then that's just stupid. He changed the game at his position.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question.
Phil Simms.
Oh shit, old school.
I liked Phil Simms a lot. I hate that he got hurt when Jeff Hostetler won that Super Bowl for them. Would have been cool if he would have won it.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And the running back for that Super Bowl Giants winning team was? Who was it?
Oh, Otis Anderson.
Otis Anderson, my guy. I love, bro. I don't know how long he played for the Giants, bro, but I love that dude, man. That dude ran people over. He didn't care who was in his way. His mother could have been in his way. He probably would have ran her over too.
Dude, he was an older cat too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, when he was with the Giants, I think so. I don't know.
He was older.
Probably not long enough, tenured with them, whatever. I just like the way he played football.
He was like over the hill in some way. In some ways.
I just for whatever reason, have I equated it at that time? I just like what he did and what he did for that team, especially during that Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I would say, because I didn't really give this much thought, but off the top of my head, Altoon. I mean,
Altoon. Altoon was good, big time receiver.
He was. Yeah, I mean, I remember vividly watching, because my dad was a Jets fan, so I would occasionally like watch some of those games with him, and he was always a guy that always stood out. And him and Kenny O'Brien had that. He's another one. Kenny O'Brien's another guy that Kenny O'Brien's a vivid part of the '80s in my mind for me. When you think about like watching football, and I didn't watch it as closely as I do now, obviously, but
yes,
Kenny O'Brien's like when I think about 80s football in New York City, Kenny O'Brien's like he always like comes up in my head. So he's
Mm-hmm.
definitely one of those guys. So Corbett, Kenny O'Brien, Altoon, and you know what? I'll throw in Curtis Martin in there too, because he was always like a guy that everybody knows he did well in New England, and he was a name. It's a name that came over here basically when they got him. I remember when
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
just signed him, I was like, oh shit, they fucking signed Curtis Martin? Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't remember. Did he do as well with the Jets that he did in the Patriots? I don't remember at all. But how
Yeah,
did
he did.
things
He wound up having a longer career with the
with the Jets?
Correct. And I think I
Gotcha.
had it here for a
Okay.
second. Let me see if I can find it again. I think I had it up here. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's see. I
I
should have
think
wrote this down, but I didn't write it
I
down.
think hold on, because I have something up here too. I might have some of his stats.
So he played with New England from 95 to 97, and the Jets, like I said, 98 to 2006.
Oh yeah, he was there for a while
Right.
then. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
NFL Rookie of the Year, first team All Pro with the Jets, second team All Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, NFL rushing leader in 2004, the Bart Starr Award, all rookie team. New England. He's made the New England Patriots all '90s team. His Jets numbers retired, and he's in the Jets Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's whose name just popped up here. We're looking at Curtis Martin, Freeman McNeil. Remember
Freeman,
him?
yeah, number 24. I remember Freeman McNeil. He was good.
Yeah, he was.
He was good.
He definitely was.
You know who I used to like as a Giant? Dave Meggett. And I'm not
Oh,
mistaken. I think he used to. I think he had a brief stint with the Jets too, but I don't remember. I don't
he
know
did.
100%
He
sure.
did. He did. I almost put Megan on this list because there were two things. By the way, there are fireworks going off somewhere here. I think it might be because of the minor league team. Two things about Dave Meggett that I loved about him. One, he was the return guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was when you had like the dedicated return guy. I mean, I guess you do now, but he was like one of the first guys I remember doing that job. And number two, he was that third down specialty back. Came in, short yardage situation or a screen pass,
Mm-hmm.
that ball was going to Meggett. Now we know what happened with his personal life.
Yeah, we
I'm not
don't.
gonna get
Yeah,
into
we're
it,
not gonna get
but
into that.
he
Just
was
Google it.
definitely a memorable Giant. So, all right, we went through that quicker than I thought. Again, we're only talking about NFL this year, this episode. Sorry. So yeah, that's gonna do for episode 9 of Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. I will reiterate, when you're listening to this podcast, and I'm going to post that piece on social media about if you're going to be in this contest with us to win the $100 gift card, have your picks in by Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, this Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We're almost there, brother. We're almost our
I could
first game of
smell
the
it.
season. We're almost there. Oh man, I can't wait for Thursday.
I can't wait. I
I'm
already
gonna
got. I already got what I want to order for food.
oh
I
god.
got the bottles on the counter. I'm ready to rock. I
And then
work from.
don't forget
I work from home on Friday. Oh yeah.
there's a game Friday night.
Yep. On Peacock.
So I know some people aren't happy because isn't that what the Eagles are starting in Mexico or something, right?
I don't.
Is that the game?
Whatever. You want to be happy and grumpy and miserable? Fuck off. But you're the
Oh
same
my
people that
god.
said, I'm not going to sign up to another subscription. And guess what you did? You signed up for another subscription. You dopes. You
By the
dodo
way,
birds.
Peacock is running a special right now. What is it? Like $4.99 for a month? That's just fucking get it. You want it. Just get it. And guess what? If you're a football fan, they're showing Big Ten games on there right now. It's not just NFL. Like they're adding more sports to
Mm-hmm,
Peacock.
mm-hmm.
So I think it's definitely
Yep.
worth like having now. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this week. Will Hernandez, one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and he is Mr. Lee J. Perilla. And we will see you next week. Peace out.
Later.